Hi friends, this is E, the Empty Nester. How are you today? Yep, it looks like another potato video. Today I thought I'd explain a little bit more about how to grow potatoes. Most of you, or some of you that are already watching know the basics, but there's people that are growing potatoes for the first time. And there's people, who haven't tried all the different ways. I've showed you in my other videos about taking the pull sprouts off the potatoes and grow them that way. Today I'm gonna basically just explain about potatoes. We've had these in our lives forever. They're basically from South America and the Andes, and we're used to commercial store-bought potatoes where they bring them in, they want them to sell fast, and they want you to buy more. They put a chemical on them to keep the potatoes from sprouting, but occasionally a potato will end up sprouting. And it's up to you to decide if you want to give a chance to a store-bought potato or buy true seed potatoes. True seed potatoes are taken from a plant in a lab. They'll take the sprouts, when these turn green, they'll take the sprouts off and put them into like a test tube or something. They'll take them and cut them into different areas on the nodes and produce more and more and more potato plants, and then grow them in a sterile environment so that your potato that goes in the ground for the farmer is basically coming from a disease-free environment. And that potato then is grown and then put into our stores for us to consume. And it's basically, the majority are male sterile plants where they can't reproduce seed. Like on a tomato plant, when the tomato plant grows up, the tomato itself is a berry. Female plants can have that berry and produce seed in it, and you can take that seed out and clean it like a tomato plant, cleaning the seeds out, and use those seeds to regrow more plants. But when you grow by plants from seed, you may not get the exact same potato as it came from. It may go back and revert to some of its parents or grandparents, and you could end up with what started out as a red potato turned into a white, or you never know what you're going to get with seed. And there's different ways of breeding plants, and that's basically done with the plants that are able to produce berries. By cross-pollinating the plants, you end up with new plants also. But I'm not going to get into genetics and things like that. I'm going to show some of the basic things. When you're growing potatoes, there's short season, mid-season, and long season. The majority of what we buy in the stores locally are short season. They grow 60 to 90 days, like Red Pontiac, Kennebec, and Yukon Gold. And when it's a teeny tiny little potato, you don't really want to cut it, because this is kind of like the mom, the potato itself. It supplies all the glucose and nutrition that the plant needs to grow. And if you can, plant the whole potato. But if you want to, produce more than one plant on a short season potato, you can cut it. And you can cut each end off and then cut it down the center and then cut it down to the center again, turning it into 4 pieces, 5 pieces, 6 pieces total, and plant those. You can also choose to chit the potatoes. This right here is a chit. You can put it in a window or near a window sill and create the little sprouts here on the side, pre-sprouting them, or you can put them in a container, like, you know, a bucket or something like this, and pre-sprout them. In a second, I'll show you what pre-sprouted potatoes look like, and I'll be taking pull sprouts off of those. And basically, you can follow recommended amounts of space to put in the ground, or you can just, if you've got really loose soil, you can go a little closer, because when the potato forms under the ground, they can just move each other around if you've got a raised bed with really loose soil. In the ground, though, they don't have, typical, say, farm ground, they don't have the ability to move the clay and the harder soils, so you need to give them more space when you're planting in a regular garden. Let me give you a look at mine. If you look right here, these are short season potatoes. Those are Yukon Gold and Red Pontiac in this area. And then over in that area is Kennebec. Over in this area are some of the exotic potatoes I've been growing. And this is a raised bed with really loose soil, so I can add even more into it. And I'll show you in a little bit how I'm going to do that. These are some more of the exotics right here that I've planted. I've taken sprouts off the potatoes and made, this today will be the fourth pull on some of them, and the first pull on the others. Over in this area, I've got seed potatoes, ones that I've grown from actual seeds from berries off of plants. There's a variety of different potatoes that's going to come up over there. Those can either be grown into small, little tiny tubers, or any size you want to pull them and be used for seed next year, or you can let them continue to grow. These are more mid to long season potatoes, and they can produce large potatoes given the right environment. In the fall, a long season potato could be harvested then. What happens is, in the spring right now, with the cooler temperatures, they start producing the tubers under the ground. And then when the heat hits, they stop producing and just sit there dormantly. And then later on, let's say August, when it starts to cool again, or September, then the potatoes start putting on their weight and become large tubers. And let me go ahead and show you the pull sprouts. All of these are the exotics that I ordered. Some of them will be pulled for the first time, and some of them have been pulled before. Look at the massive root system on this. But basically what I'm going to do is should have waited till they were drier. We just had a massive rain yesterday. Bring this up so you can see. you look under here, here's the mother potato, and if you look right there, there's a sprout. All you do is break the sprout off the potato, and then wiggle the roots out, and then you come over here, you break the sprout off, and this is as good as new again. You can put this back in the soil and produce even more plants. So for right now, this one potato is giving me the chance of 3 plants. And every week to a week and a half, depending on the weather conditions, you can make more plants from this. And when you do it like this, these potatoes will probably produce a month early, so you don't want to do this to short season potatoes, because you're taking a chance on having little bitty potatoes versus full-size potatoes, where these guys will be in the ground longer than them and will still produce a good sized potato. Let me take you over here and show you how to plant it. Take my cover off a little bit. These are some that I started in March, and the frost hit them April 6th, but they've bounced back. And here's a potato that I've been pulling sprouts off of, and this potato is producing its own baby potatoes, which is amazing. I've got another one in here. This potato produced its own potato, and then it's got a new sprout that it's producing to make another plant. I've taken 3 times, I think it was, 3 sprouts off of this one. But I'm putting it back in the ground so it can produce more sprouts and have, more plants produced. I think I'll put this one right here. I'm just reaching in and moving the soil back. Look at the roots on that thing. And then I'm gonna bury this up to the top to where only a little bit of the plant's showing. Here's the mama. Some beautiful roots coming out of there. sprouts on how to do it. And sorry. I'll return this to the tray and add soil back to it and get producing more potatoes, or more potato plants, I should say. I'll show you a clip on how to do that, and then okay, now I'm gonna set these back up to make more plants, and that one might have more potatoes, but this time I'm gonna use this tray with holes in it. That way, what do you call it? The water won't leak through. Won't gather up from all the rain that we're having. And then, like this one that broke in half, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in 2 halves. There's a chance that it might continue to rot, but there's a chance it might continue to grow more plants. And then let's get this guy facing up. And then I'm just going to put the dirt over them, or the soil, I should say, back over them, and let them start growing some more plants. In a week or so, we should have more plants to pull off of here. Where these guys were left on a little too long, it's been, say, 2 weeks worth of growth. There's a plant. I wonder if I can put him in here, just growing some roots. I hope you were seeing that I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. I'm just covering them all up with the soil that I've been using. That's it for today. All I got now is, these are the true seed potatoes that I started, I think around the 10th of March, and I'm going to have to go ahead and take these out and transplant them into containers like this to get them to grow a little bigger, or take a chance on putting them in the dirt. But temperature-wise, we may have some really cold nights again, so I can't really risk it. Put some of this dirt over top of them. Give them a taste of what soil is like. But that's it for today. Out of this tray plus a few others that we'll put back in there, I've got all of these potatoes in both these bins. And I'll have even more soon. But thanks for watching.